Just left bung of chili oil. Today we're doing a 40k ride around this area. Trails are looking a little bit washed out from all the rain. Lots of fun out here. Whoa. Off on the edge, yeah? Yeah. Don't want to fall down that. And remember on the Epic, you ride a lot of these bench cut trails with really steep drop-offs on the left or the right. You don't want to clip the pedal, yeah? Have to concentrate. Take it easy. So after my previous video, I've had a whole bunch of questions about a few things. So I want to touch on a few topics that guys asked questions on. And the first one is what shoes to use for the Cape Epic. So for the Epic, I recommend riding a shoe with not too much carbon. If you're going to walk and you're riding mid-pack and to the end of the race, a full carbon shoe is a definite no. You don't want to destroy your shoes, they're very expensive and they're also very uncomfortable for walking. So just get a normal shoe that's comfortable. I've had a lot more questions about tires. Tires are a personal preference, and depending on how you ride, your style of riding and the terrain you train on, tires are very specific to your needs. So for the Epic, we ride 2.4 Maxxis Recon Race, and we use tire inserts by Pepe's Tire Noodles or the Victoria inserts. My tires generally have 120 mils of sealant in them, including the tire inserts. For the Epic, we up the tire sealant to 140 mils just to have that little bit of extra safety. So my tire pressure on the rear is 1.6 bar and on the front 1.5. So this is all personal preference, up to you, your weight, style of riding, but a slightly bigger tire I do recommend for the Western Cape terrain, all the soft sand, all the sticks, logs, stones, rocks, everything the Epic throws at you. Slightly bigger tire does help with it. So yeah, we've just arrived on a section of this year's Epic route that we're riding on, the Idis Valley Trails, and pretty shortly we're going to go through that tunnel that goes under the Hellswifter Pass. I'm using my iPhone lights just to see a little bit, but as you can see, it's very dark in here. We're just discussing now what your penalty is for walking.
Nothing really fell down. No, I get used to it.
That's dodgy, eh?
Okay.
We just went through that super narrow piece of single track where it's washed away. On the Epic, there's a lot of stuff like that. So you need to build up your confidence to ride on the edge of a cliff or big drop off and know when to walk. Don't take chances. You can see how narrow this is here. We're on a rock edge, big drop on the right. Just entered the Portsmouth drop. We're going all the way to the bottom, and then it's a 380 meter climb back to the top. And that's the one thing with the Epic, you need to do lots of climbing. Even if you don't feel like it, you have to climb. Portsmouth drop has a few options to get down, all of it lots of nice flowy trail, very loose, lots of sharp corners, lots of rocks. Good practice for the Epic. So a lot of questions from our previous video is about more detail on nutrition and what we ride with. Oh, there goes my chain. So when I ride the Epic, I ride with a USP pack with a 1 litre bladder and a 650 ml bottle. My 650 ml bottle I normally keep empty and only fill it at one of the water points that I need to, with electrolytes. I keep an electrolyte powder in the bottle but I don't put any water in it, so I keep it dry. In my USP pack, I have about 1 liter of water. I use Tailwind Nutrition. The sachets are about 200 calories per sachet, and I'll put 2 sachets in that bladder. So I'm riding with 400 calories in my USP pack, and I'll try and take in about 200 calories or so per hour. I also ride with 3 bars at about 100 calories a bar, and I ride with 2 gels. I either use Mortine or Spring Energy gels, and they are anything from 100 calories to 200 calories per gel. Nutrition is a personal preference, and what I do recommend is what you train on is what you should use during the race. Try not to change anything, keep everything the same, eat and drink what your body can take in and what your body's used to. Don't change anything. That's when things will go pear-shaped. Keep your nutrition clean, keep it to what you know, and don't change anything before the epic. Another question was, what time of day do we train? We mix it up. We normally train early in the morning, but we try and get a lot of heat training in, so training in the middle of the day and try to get used to the heat as much as possible. Okay, my chain's broken, so I've only got big gears here. Yeah, so train in the heat and train technical climbing on climbs, ride in terrain you normally wouldn't ride in, and practice your switchbacks like this, because there's a lot of this on the epic, and I did mention that in the previous video. So right now I've got a gear issue, so this is also just part of the training to ride in heavier gear up the switchbacks. So another piece of cool advice I found out after my previous video that someone messaged me about is when I spoke about bibs and riding in bibs that you know, the advice he gave me is maybe have 3 pairs of really good bibs, but each of the bibs should have a slightly different chamois. So when you're riding every stage, change the bibs so the chamois sits slightly different on your bum and you're seating differently, so you won't always trigger that one spot. Chain just went again, so I'm going to walk. So yeah, it's actually quite a good tip in changing your bibs to a slightly different chamois. We are out there a lot longer than the pros. They normally do each stage in half the time of the amateurs. So yeah, change your bibs up, use a slightly different chamois, let you sit on different trigger points on your bum. Okay, my chain is gone on the bike, so I'm walking up a super steep section. I've only got 3 or 4 gears, heaviest gears, so it's quite tough on the steeper sections. Yeah, another quick tip: if you're riding with mates and you're riding the epic, do all the mechanicals, learn how to fix everything, and ride with all the spares and everything you need as if you were riding the epic. 22 k's in, we've done 1,000 meters of climbing. I did about 300 meters of that with a big gear. I think we actually rode this in the epic this year, so we're familiar with this trail. And as you can see, this is the kind of terrain that you need to be used to riding. Yeah, the epic will throw everything it can at you, and that's not even including the weather. Nature's in control, you never know what you're gonna get. Yeah, my chain just come off again. We always try and mix up the trails we ride, so every week we ride something different, mix it up, experience all the different types of trail conditions around the Western Cape. It's good prep for the epic. Now dropping into the Banguk Valley. Amazing trails out here. Oh. How's it? Oh, how's that view? Yeah. chain's causing havoc here. Oh wow, how cool is that? Okay, thanks for watching. That's just a little follow-up video from the previous one with a couple of extra tips. I've now got to try and get back to the car. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will fill in the gaps where I can. Cheers.